Something we've only seen less than a handful of times since this franchise was born back in the 90s, and that's Jacksonville hosting in the playoffs as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Jacksonville Jaguars. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
I'm ready.
They go play action now. Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on second down. Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne. And some room to work. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Well, if you're the team that has the ball, you're loving this series. No matter what you're dialing up, in the air, on the ground, you're getting big-time chunks of yardage. And right now, they've got that defense wobbling.
On play action, Lawrence. That's complete to Travis Etienne out of the backfield. Touchdown, Jaguars! Travis Etienne, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Full to run show, Fadukasi there on the tackle.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Burrow looking to pass. To Mixon on the check down. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
On 2nd down and 4, Burrow trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. And the Jaguars are going to get it back here just past the 35. When I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. Etienne up the middle. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Logan Wilson that time there to bring him down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They go play action with Lawrence. And that's complete to Etienne out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And to put a bow on it, Next Gen Stats saying that traveled an even 66 yards in the air. Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. He was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Bobby Wagner, multiple times an All-Pro, in there to drop him for a loss.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll find his man, Laviska Shenault. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
But they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Back to Mixon on second down. 17-0 our score after 1.
Here we go.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He was so vital in their wild card win a week ago. 8 catches in that game. This is his first one in this affair. Now Burrow on first down. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase, 26 yards. And the Bengals get a bit closer. Evan McPherson for the extra point. And it's 17-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Now a pass caught by Zay Jones. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And this will be taken at the 13. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. Let's see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Now Burrow. Finding Hardman here over the middle. It'll go as a gain of 4. 3rd and 7 now.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And now ball going to be intercepted yet again. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. A nightmare of a first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
52 yards rushing for him now as he has been strong here in the first half of this divisional round matchup. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
On the stick. Hey, back up.
From midfield now, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you...
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. 60 yards. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14.
Bengals 14.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Looking to throw again on second down. Lawrence. ETN bringing in another one. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Lawrence. He's going to float this over the middle deep. He's got a man complete. Touchdown. Evan Ingram, 62 yards. And the Jaguars will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. They'll set up the screen here to mix it.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Flush to his right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Here we go.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about riddling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Escaping the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Trying to get away, but could not. Josh Allen, what a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On third down, Burrow. And that will be incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Now Etienne to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Another toe for Etienne. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Bengals with 2 extra DBs. A nickel look on third.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
Here's Lawrence. Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down. That'll put him north of 100 yards receiving now in this divisional round game. That's a first down. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 65 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him, and he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main catalyst.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From the 31, Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That's a nice play there.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Burrow. Eluding the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. They'll look to throw here. Now Burrow loses the football. Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Burrow going for it on 4th. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And some room to maneuver. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground. They'll run with Etienne. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. Draw play, Etienne. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. One quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Rock it.
Etienne is in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon. And this time, he had the speed to win that race.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. That's the tight end, Hurst, with it. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stares on that sideline. This is one of those games we just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Called a no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Forced out to it. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Josh Allen getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. He's got a man complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 36 yards on the play. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And it would appear that that first-round bye certainly helped. They've looked fresh from the start with no letdown here as they lead big in this divisional round, and they look to book a spot in the conference championship. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Running the jet sweep with Jones. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well. Here's a give to Etienne. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes at that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 156 yards rushing for him now in the ball game as he is trying to will his guys to the championship round next weekend. On 2nd down, Etienne once more. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. They'll run with Etienne. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because